All right, good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. Can you hear? Is it working? Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. We'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, more likely than not that you're the person who committed the crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint a PD to represent you this afternoon. You have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you are advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there's an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. Now I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Mr. Brown, are you ready immediately? And who do you have?
Yes, sir. If court please, I have Dalia Diaz.
Dalia Diaz. All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Diaz. What's your date of birth?
10/2/01.
01.
Yes, sir.
The direct file.
Yes, sir.
Did. All right, young lady, I have a warrant here signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for 2 charges, a grand theft and uttering a counterfeit bill. Mr. Brown.
If the court please, she is 17. Her mother is present, as well as her father. They live in Broward County. She was in juvenile court, or was scheduled for juvenile court for Monday's session coming up. She was transported this morning to Judge Merritt's court, and somehow the state had decided to do a direct file, which was predicated, I believe, in part on the declination initially by Ms. Diaz prior to the time that she had counsel to enter into a cooperation agreement. I have been trying to get with the prosecutor who had the case this morning to see if it was possible to revisit that declination and to see if it's possible to get us back into juvenile court. It certainly is not in Ms. Diaz's best interest to proceed as an adult. She turns 18 this year in a few months, but she is at this point still a juvenile. Since we are at this stage of the proceedings with not having an agreement to try to return to the juvenile system, I would respectfully ask the court to grant bond to release her into the custody of her mother, who is present, her father, who is outside the courtroom with a young son.
Okay, awesome.
The child obviously cannot afford bond on her own. She has no employment. She has no means of support other than her parents. Her parents are have retained maybe for the juvenile court proceeding. If the state has a position with regard to a bond, now the set was per the schedule, I believe.
Well, Ms. Bunker, is there any significant prior juvenile history?
Yes, Your Honor, there is prior juvenile history. They're including a burglary, obtaining controlled substances by fraud, robbery, carjacking with firearm or weapon. She was in a high commitment facility in 2017 and was only just recently taken off of supervision when she was arrested for these new offenses.
Okay. Okay. Were those on the East Coast or were those here?
What I'm looking at doesn't tell me
Okay.
what county.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, and young lady, I have an address for you in North Lauderdale. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
That's where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And very good. All right. I'm going to set bonds at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. And we're going to have her back, at least for now, in circuit court on the 11th of June. All right?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
For
you,
the
Ms.
record,
Diaz.
the state is objecting to the
I would guess so, yes. All right. Anybody else, Jim?
No, sir.
All right. Great.
Excuse.
Thank you. Yes. Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Judge.
Yep.
You too.
Tara Castelli. Morning, young lady. What's your date of birth?
7/17/81.
I have two charges today. I have a burglary of a dwelling and a grand theft. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself and hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes.
I'll appoint the PD statement.
Yes, she was actually on probation for several adjudications for failure to have her child in school. I believe that the warrant is forthcoming from probation.
The warrant has been dropped off at Judge Ruthie's office
Okay.
today.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
The victim is here, though.
Okay. Does the victim wish to be heard? Do you want to be heard, ma'am? Yeah, come on up.
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your name.
Deborah Castelli.
All right. And this is your daughter, I assume? Okay. All right. Mrs. Castelli, what would you like to tell me?
As a mother, I don't want to see her in prison, but this is what needed to be done. This is a long history of a very bad drug abuse. My daughter needs help. I've asked, I want to find a way how we can go about getting her into a drug court. I know she has to serve time because of her probation. But as far as moving forward, she needs help. That's her daughter sitting there. And she has another baby that we will take care of. But she needs to get help. And sitting in prison is not going to help her. But she needs to pay for what she's done. And I understand that.
Right. And we're going to go over that with her in a minute here because the violation of probation warrant isn't there yet, but it will be soon.
I know. I spoke with her probation officer
These
this morning.
charges are what they are.
Yes.
To be honest with you, there's lots of ways to get help when you get into the system. It's two things. One, you have to want it.
Yes.
And two, you have to have a support system. So if she has a support system with you guys, that's good.
We've been trying.
But then
She's got to do it now.
She's got to want it. So all we can ever provide in the criminal justice system is opportunity.
It's been 4 long months of her in and out of programs, in and out of detoxes, and it's just getting worse.
Right.
And that's the reason why she did what she did.
So I feel your pain as a parent, and I wish I could tell you that I could make something happen.
No.
But she
This was the hardest thing.
She certainly will have opportunities. She certainly will have the advice of counsel telling her to take advantage of opportunities. That's as much as we're going to do, and I hope you understand that.
I do, absolutely. Believe me, I know it was the hardest decision I ever had to make in my life.
Okay. The second question I have for you is that based on this type of charge, I can order her not to have contact with you while the charges are pending. If you want me to do that, if you don't want me to do that, I won't.
Right now,
Okay.
I don't want to speak with her.
Okay. All right.
But I have to find out what I have to do for the children because I don't have any. As DCF is concerned, I was the caregiver in the home, and that's why she was still allowed in the home because I was supervisor. But we have a 14-year-old and a 2-year-old baby, which I have she never signed any papers like for me to have any type of guardianship or custody.
Okay. What's going on with DCF right now?
The case is closed, but it's a monitor. They keep a monitor on her because she was supposed to be going to daycare, outpatient, but she stopped going, and the supervision was in effect.
Okay. Well, the answer to that is that you should probably let them know what's happened.
Right. I did call this morning, but I didn't get a phone call. I'm going to go there when I leave here.
Okay. Because they're going to need to know, because if she winds up with the VOP that's coming, spending some time in jail, they're going to need to know that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's what I got for you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. All right. Ms. Costello, I have an address for you on Curtis Lane in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That's where I'm staying at the moment,
Okay.
yes.
Do you have a job right now?
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. All right. On the burglary, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. On the grand theft at $2,000. That's a total of $7,000. Condition of the bond on those is that you're going to have no contact with your mom until further order of some court. That is with the exception of any proceedings with the Department of Children and Family Services. So if the Department of Children and Family Services is wanting to do something with all of you, contact in that situation would be allowed.
Yes.
All right. But nothing else, Ms. Costelli, don't call, don't write, don't email, don't text message, no social media, no contact other than under the auspices of the Department of Children and Family Services. You'll be back in court on this on the 11th of June. Very, very important on this case that you contact the public defender if you get out. It would also be important that you contact DCF if you get out. Now, your further complication is that apparently you're currently on misdemeanor probation. The folks at probation have already dropped the warrant for the violation of probation off with Judge Rupi, which means that warrant will get signed today or tomorrow, and that is coming right away. The bond on that warrant will be no bond. So if you spend money bonding out on these charges now, you're probably going to be out that money, because when the violation of probation warrant shows up, they're going to arrest you on that, and you're going to go back to jail without bond. I can tell you that if you stay in the jail and wait for that warrant, that ultimately when you deal with that violation of probation, on the VOP, you'll get credit from yesterday when you went into the jail forward. If you bond out, then you lose some credit time. That decision, of course, is entirely up to you, because that warrant is not here yet, okay? All right. Thank you, ma'am. Firdaus Mumni.
Hello, Your Honor.
Morning, miss. Date of birth?
02/29/88.
All right. And to the extent that I did terrible things to your name, I apologize.
Oh, you did better than most.
Thank you. All right, young lady, I have a warrant for you, signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently you failed to appear in his court on a charge of grand theft. As to that charge, you represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, but sir, I would like to inform you that I was incarcerated in Pasco County Jail.
Okay,
For that.
and that's the answer. There is that that is probably the most common reason folks fail to appear in court. What that means for you going forward is, I'm sure the state will never charge you with the crime of failing to appear, but issuing this warrant is exactly how we get you back on the docket. That's how they get you back here from Pasco, so we can get you going here. Judge Merritt set your bond at $7,500. Unfortunately, I can't change that, but we will send you back to see him on the 28th of May. No? Go ahead.
That's fine. That's my court date. She's my client.
Okay. Ms. Bell is here and says she still wants to represent you, and we put her on her court date, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you can bond out, then you should contact Barbara Jo right away so you can talk about what happens next. If you can't bond out, she's going to come to the jail and see you before you go to court in a couple of weeks, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
How about my charge for the grand theft, which is the reason that I'm transferred over here? Can I know when is my court date for that, sir?
The 528.
This is the grand theft. That's what it is.
That's for the okay. I thought you said it was for the failure to.
No, I'm telling you, you're probably not going to get charged with fail to appear because you were in somebody else's jail, and your failing to appear was not willful.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Mercedes Staton.
Sir, hello.
Good morning. Or afternoon. What's your date of birth?
10/14/89, sir.
Young lady, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender,
I'll
sir.
appoint the PD. State.
Yes, Your Honor. In 2017, she was released from DOC for petty theft for third, as well as possession of controlled substance. In 2016, she had a violation of probation. She was also adjudicated on resisting arrest and petty theft in 2016, trespassing in 2016, no valid DL in 2016, a failure to appear in 2016, possession of controlled in 2016, failure to appear in 2015, possession of drug equipment in 2015, possession of controlled in 2015, trespass in an occupied structure conveyance in 2015, for which there were 2 counts, a petty theft, and then she has a lengthy out-of-state history that includes 2012 burglary, driving while license suspended, 2011, looks like some other traffic offenses, and 2010, those look like traffic offenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mercedes, I have an address for you on Edge Hill Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
Since October, sir.
All right. And Mr. Bradley lives there as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir. I just got out of Pasco County Jail 3 days ago. I just did a final sentence.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set your bond on this one at $500. Mercedes, condition of the bond is that while the charge is pending, you'll not have any contact with Mr. Bradley. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. Don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he's allowed to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may say this is no big deal, he doesn't want to proceed. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who will be handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I've got to hold you till 4 o'clock this afternoon so that if he was wanting to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as the address on Edge Hill is concerned, as long as he's living there, you're going to have to find someplace else to stay while this charge is pending. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to go. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'd meet you there with a deputy who'd stand by while you got your things and got going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 5th of June. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir. There's only one problem. My only relatives I have in the state just died while I was in Pasco County, and I'm supposed to be collecting their body tomorrow. I don't know what to do.
And I'm afraid, Mercedes, I don't have an answer for you. There's no doubt that when you get into this system, life gets complicated. You certainly are familiar with the complications of the criminal justice system, but all I can do is, and quite frankly, given your history, I think I've set a very reasonable bond. You don't have any violent history, so I set a sort of a minimum bond. It's $100 to a bondsman to get out on a $500 bond. But I've done what I can do for you. You're going to have to figure out a way. That's all I can do. All right, sir. Thank you. Calvin Baum.
I'm in, yes, sir.
Calvin, what's your date of birth?
11/5/86.
I have a warrant for you, young man, out of Sumter County. Apparently a judge over there thinks that you failed to appear on 3 charges, possession of meth, trespass, and possession of paraphernalia, and set your bonds at $10,000, $1,000, and $1,000 respectively. I can't change those bonds. If you have the ability to post those bonds, you can get out of jail here, go over to Bushnell, find out when they want you back in court. If you don't have the ability to post those bonds, we'll notify Sumter right away. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. Never takes 5 days with Sumter, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they're going to bring you back to see me, and I'm going to find out what the problem is, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Jeffrey Daughtry. Morning, Jeffrey.
Huh?
I said hello. How are you?
Hello.
Jeffrey, can you tell me your date of birth?
I just like to make one statement. I'm 70 years old. I've only been in jail twice, and I've had a bad run of my luck. I lost my house, and I'm asking for the mercy of the court.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only been in jail twice.
All right.
I'm 70 years old.
Jeffrey, can you hear me at all?
Huh?
Can you hear me at all? Yeah, set it on heavy metal. How's that? Can you hear me? Anything? Jeffrey, can you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Can you tell me your date of birth?
10-5-48.
There we go. The charge is trespass. State, is this the kind of thing we can resolve today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what would that be?
Credit time served.
All right. Jeffrey, I can give you time served today. That means you'd get out of jail. You want to do that?
I sure would. I appreciate that.
All right. But first, you and I got to make one thing perfectly clear. You cannot go back to the Wawa, okay?
I will not go back there.
I'm with you. I like Wawa a lot. The food's awesome. Place is clean and well lit, but you can't go there anymore. We're clear on that, right?
Okay.
No Wawa. I'm not kidding.
All right.
All right, now, hang on.
I won't go back there.
Good. You understand, by entering a plea today, you give up the rights to have a trial by a jury, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to have a lawyer, the right to remain silent, but you want to give those up so we can get you out of jail today?
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right. As to the charge of trespass, how do you want to plead? Tell me you want to plead no contest.
Yes.
Very good. I'll accept that plea. Find it's freely and voluntarily made. I will adjudicate you guilty of the charge. Sentence you to 1 day in the county jail. Credit 1 day served. Fine and court cost is $5.53. $50 for the night in jail. Jeffrey, they're going to let you out today. Find someplace else to go other than Wawa, okay?
Right.
Got it. That's it? Brandon Dawson.
Sir.
Well, Brandon, what's your date of birth?
8185.
Brandon, I got a warrant for you out of Okaloosa County. The judge that signed it found probable cause for a violation of probation. Unfortunately, set your bond at no bond. Nothing I can do about that. We'll let Okaloosa know that you're here and ready to go. They have 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Is that five days from today, just straight? So that would be next Tuesday, right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
They'll come get you.
They're coming, did you say?
I'm sure they will, yeah.
Misdemeanor?
Jacob Grants. Jacob, what's your date of birth?
9/29/97.
Jacob, you weren't in court on Tuesday.
Honest mistake of date, sir. I came the next day and they took me in from there.
All right. Didn't he have something else too?
Because he's had the passport warrant anyway.
Okay. And did they not serve that? Apparently not. Okay. So, hey, at the jail, what's his warrant out of Pasco about? I don't have that today.
Violation.
Is it a VOP, Jacob?
Yes, sir. By being here today.
Oh.
On his
Or last time I was here.
It wasn't for VOP.
For the 10 days you gave me on driving suspended the first time, you
Okay.
gave me 10 days, that violated my PASCO.
Probation. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And apparently he had he had 2 cases open and he only pled to 1.
Here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we may have been trying to massage that. Is your case in Pasco a felony or a misdemeanor?
Misdemeanor DUI.
Okay. And you're on probation for that?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm stating if you wanted the result today, what would that look like?
Credit time served.
Okay. Well, Jacob, there's already that VOP warrant out of Pasco, but I'll give you the option. If you want, you can plead to these cases here, and I would give you time served of a day on these 2, and these are done, these 2 charges. Then you'd be right off to Pasco County. If you don't want to do that, then I'll set lower bonds, but you'd have to post the bonds here to get to Pasco. And I don't know if that's something you can do in your present situation. So you want to take time served?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right. So you understand by having pleas in these cases, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you. But you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir. You're saying both of those charges are going to be dropped today?
They're not going to be dropped. They're going to be time served. They'll be done.
Right.
Right.
How much time do I have to serve for these? And then
You're going to get 1 day on each one. It's going to be done right now.
Okay, awesome.
We're going to green light you to Pasco today, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. You might come to first appearance tomorrow on that warrant, probably. Anyway, so in case number 19, CT 1128, as to the charge in count 1 of leaving the scene, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
As charged with count 2 of driving on a suspended license, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
Accept those pleas, find they're freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty on both counts. 1 day on each count, credit 1 day served on each count. Fine and court costs on 1 is $488, on 2 is $88, and $100 for the time in jail. But that takes care of these cases. If there's nothing else keeping you in Hernando County, Jacob, then I think they'll go ahead and serve that warrant on the Pasco case, and you probably see me at first appearance tomorrow. All right? Yep. Yes.
Your Honor, are they fingerprinting them off to the right here? Because if so,
I don't think
we've been asked that if they fingerprint them when they plead, that it be
I don't think they're doing
on the
that.
camera.
I don't think they have it. This is,
I
I mean, you're new here. For a decade, they've been talking to me about doing fingerprints at the jail, and I keep saying that'd be awesome. I just have to do it where I can see it.
But they
I don't
don't
think they do it at all. Yeah. So welcome to my world.
Thank you.
Andrew Lawson. Morning, Mr. Lawson. What's your date of birth?
4296.
Mr. Lawson, I have a warrant for you out of Citrus County. Looks like Judge Howard found probable cause for 1 count of dealing in stolen property. He set your bond at $25,000. They can't change that. If you can post that bond, sir, you can get out of jail here, go up to Citrus, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, Citrus gets 5 days to come pick you up. Again, with Citrus, never takes 5 days. But if you're still here in 5, they'd bring you back to see me, and I'd find out what's gone wrong, okay?
All right, sir.
Thank you. Dylan Leslie? Afternoon, Dylan. What's your date of birth?
July 14th, 1992.
Dylan got 2 charges today. Got driving under the influence and driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, I haven't been able to talk to anyone since I've been here. I've been in isolation or something.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. Stay what you tell me.
Yes, Your Honor. For starters, in 2016, he has an adjudication for DUI. So this will be his second.
Right.
2018, he has a withhold on a battery. In 2017, he violated his probation. He was also arrested for violation of probation in 2016. He had a possession of paraphernalia in 2016. Resisting officer without violence in 2016. Petty theft in 2016. And Those are the only charges.
Dylan, I have an address for you on Sandpine Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No, sir.
Where do you live?
18025 Garris Drive.
What city?
Hudson, Florida, 34606.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
I just moved there a couple months ago, sir.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
Yeah, I was actually going to get something to eat and got pulled over. I didn't-
Yeah, don't say too much about what happened. Just tell me what you do for
Do you
work,
have a
Dylan.
job, yes or no?
I just started a job.
What are you doing?
I'm laying block and screen work.
Okay. All right. Dylan, I'm going to set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. You're going to be back on the 5th of June. You got family in Pasco County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. They're going to let you make any phone call you want to make. Call some family. Tell them you're in jail with a $1,000 bond, and they'll help you get out. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
500 each count?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ricky Schultz.
I'm sorry, I didn't get his court date.
6'5".
Thank you.
Afternoon, Mr. Schultz. What's your date of birth?
8561.
So you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll point the PD. Maria, what's my toner day?
My next toner date is 6/7.
At 8:30?
8:30.
Has he got a date on the 24th of May?
He does have a May date from, I think it is, I know it's the 24th. But starting this month, he was given, the earliest date he had was the 6/7.
6/7, okay. Because this, what they gave me was the 24th of May in courtroom D. So, that's, and the time
Your
is
Honor,
up
looks
to
like he's brought here on a transport order. So
oh,
that
so they special sent it. All right, so I'm going to leave him on the 24th. So, all right, so Ricky, the bond is no bond. Appoint the public defender. You'll be back on the 24th of May, and the PD will come see you before then. Okay?
Okay, now I was arrested on this warrant back in January 13th, and I'm serving a 7-month sentence at Pasco. That would run concurrent with this.
Well, that will be something for you to take up with the judge that you see. It certainly would with me, but I can't make any promises about Judge Toner. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamar Stanley. Afternoon, Mr. Stanley. What's your date of birth?
12/3/86.
Jamar, I have 2 warrants for you today, both signed by Judge Rupi. In one, it's because you failed to appear on a driving on a suspended license on April 2nd. The other one is for failing to appear on a driving on a suspended license on April 5th. Ms. Bunker, is this something Jamar could solve if you wanted to today?
Yes, we would offer a withhold on the first one and credit time served on the second one.
All right, so Jamar, if you want to take care of these both today, you can. It would be a withhold and fine and court costs on the first case and adjudication and time served on the second case. You'd be out today. Both cases are done. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering pleas in these cases. You give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you're willing to give up those rights so that we can take care of these today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 19 CT 560, as to the charge that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
Absolutely.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll withhold adjudication and assess a fine and court costs of $488. In case number 19 CT 1130, as to the charge that you drove on a suspended license, how do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
That's what I wish. No
Good.
contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served. Fine and court cost is $488, $50 for the day in jail. That takes care of both cases, Jamar. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, okay?
Appreciate
Very
that.
good. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Curtis Marshman. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/13/1979.
All right. Curtis, what I have for you today is an order of recommitment signed by Judge Toner in case number 18 CF 1599. That means apparently you were out on bond on that case, and he has revoked your bond, so you're now being held without bond on that charge. Did you have the public defender on that case, Curtis?
Yeah.
Would you like to continue with the public defender?
Yeah.
Very good. I'll appoint the public defender. She wants you back on the 7th of June. Looks like they might have told you the 11th. The right day is the 7th. And someone from the public defender's office is going to come see you before you go back to court, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Tyron Ross. Good afternoon, Mr. Ross. What's your date of birth?
May 23rd, 2003.
Tyron, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for one count of burglary of a conveyance with a battery. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
I got a lawyer, I believe so.
Okay. Do you know what your lawyer's name is?
I forgot. She's from Clearwater.
Okay, but your folks have found somebody that they're planning to have represent you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And state, what can you tell me?
Well, Your Honor, he already has a case that's open. We would ask to RCO on 2018 CF 2502. And in addition to that, he does have history of burglary, robbery with firearm, petty theft, dealing in stolen, all in the last 2 years.
Okay, and what is 2502?
That's a robbery case that was transferred to the adult court.
Okay, and do you have offense dates? Do you know what those are?
Maybe, one moment. I mean, it was 2018. This
It's
case
18.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome.
I mean, I don't know if case numbers really indicate offense dates.
Well,
It couldn't
It
have been
depends if
after
there's a
Offense date was
warrant.
11/17 of 18.
There's a warrant.
11/17 of 18.
and do we know the offense date on this one?
The offense date here says on the 17th day of February 2019.
Okay, and was 2018 CF direct filed right out of the gate, or was he in juvenile court for a while, or do we even know?
I was in juvenile court for a while.
Okay.
The next pretrial on that case is next week, May 20th.
Okay. I mean, I'm with you. It's just these are a little odd. 502. Makes no sense. Okay, the offense date on this new case again is February.
Yes, the 17th day of February.
Okay, well, all of the bonds in the old case were posted prior to that. So. Okay. And of course, I don't have any facts on this case. All right. And young man, I have an address for you on Flagler Avenue in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
All my life.
Okay. Were you still in school?
No, sir. They wouldn't let me go to school because of my old charges, but I had to do an online class, so I got called up people
Okay.
to the district.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do two things. Set your bond in this case at $10,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with any alleged victim. And when's the old case coming back? You said the 20th?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm going to have this case back on the 20th of May as well, because that's where your other case is. Then, the other thing I will do is, in your old case, 18 CF 2502, it appears you were out on bond when you committed the acts that led to the charges in this new case. So pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in that case. So we're going to hold you without bond until the 20th, which, whatever that, next week, Monday. That's when both your cases will be back in court, and then Judge Merritt he's in front of?
No, sir, that's going to be Judge Toner.
Then Judge Toner can revisit your bond or decide what's the best thing to do with you given your situation. Make sure that you get a hold of your folks so they can get a hold of your lawyer to know that you're spending the weekend in jail at least, and that everybody needs to be in court on Monday, okay? All right, thank you, sir. All right, Jill, you got anything else for me?
No, sir.
All right, awesome, thanks.